What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV, aka Darth Apocalypse. So, before I get into this video, I do want to mention a couple of things. Shout out to the brother Prince of Judah for the $20 donation via the Cash App. I wonder if you can do me a favor, brother. Can you post in the comment section what your video request actually was? Because I didn't see it. You might have put it in the comment section of the video. I just didn't see it. I might try to re-tag you with like a Cash App back, like saying like, can you tell me what it is? Because I'm trying to figure out what the video request was. This is how far behind I am. I'm just getting to your request. I'm sorry it took a while, but what if you can just hit me back and tell me what the video request was, and I'll do a video on that. Also want to give a shout out to the brother. I'm just gonna say your first initial, J, for the donation via the Cash App. And yeah, we are in some crazy times, brother. Some crazy times, and yes, YouTube is trying their best to put channels like myself, Dreamers Pro, Sports and Fitness Rants, um, you know, uh, 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 other channels, Franchise Sports. They're trying to put us all in boxes, man. And one other thing, I'm gonna get to the point of the video. To the man, the myth, the legend, brother Robert Mason. Yeah, I will check out that documentary and do a video on that tomorrow. You have my word on it. I'm just now catching up to a lot of the the major video requests, and I will get to that one and the other one with Bo Jackson tomorrow. You have my word on that one. Let's get to the meat of the coconut. LeBron James has come out and making more excuses as to why players today can't play 82 games. I thought when I first saw this trending, and shout out to the brother Apex Jones on X/Twitter for talking about this, because this is where I saw it. I thought this was like sometimes you'll see like a recirculation of old videos. I thought this is from what he said this on his podcast before. But no, this is a new conversation that he's had with Tyrese Halliburton. He's talking about how, it's just impossible to play 82 games today because of the speed and pace of today's game, right? That's the excuse that they use. And, the game 30, 40 years ago was slow. They weren't working as hard, and, less energy was expelled. So that's why they was able to play 82 games, but not today. Today, they got to play maybe 50, 60, and we got to be
I
satisfied.
want people to understand, and our fans to understand, that playing 82 games in the 80s and 90s is not the same as playing 82 games in the 2020s. It's just not. The way we play, the level of pace, the level of the speed that we're playing at, it's a different game now. It's a totally different game. And, it's a lot of soft tissue injuries that's happened now because of it. I hope we can get a handle on that as well, because that's big in our game. I think when I first came into the league, Reese, like some of the biggest concerns of injuries was like, a high ankle sprain. You was afraid to step on somebody's ankle because there was 4 or 5 guys sitting in the paint. So, guys with athleticism, myself, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, to name a couple guys, sometimes you're afraid to take off into the lane because it was 4 or 5 guys sitting in the paint. And if you land on somebody's ankle, you get a high ankle sprain, you out 4 to 6 weeks. Now that's not really much of you don't really see that as much now because the game is so spread open, it's so much pace. But now you see the new high ankle sprain is the calf.
Right.
So, hopefully we could get a handle on that from a medical standpoint. But it's just a game. I just want the fans to understand that the game is a little different. And, as NBA players, we definitely want to be out there as much as possible.
That's bullshit because we've now caught LeBron James in multiple lies about that. Um, we now know that he purposely misses some games, in particular Memphis and Milwaukee and perhaps some other cities, because he just don't like the hotels. He don't like the after party or after game, I should say, atmosphere. He wants to be in 5-star hotels where, that's suited for literally, as he sees himself, a king. Even though he's a married man, he's worried about the nightlife. I'm just saying. But yeah, but getting back to this, man, it's been a serious issue with load management and these players not playing 82 games or even coming close to it. Like look, we don't expect honestly players to play all 82 games, but what I'm used to seeing is that if a player is relatively healthy for a season, usually they would play 74 games and up. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the norm. Like if you go back to 2000, the average All-Star played in 77 games. By 2010, that had dropped to 72, and by 2020, that was to 65. Now you're having a hard time getting these guys to make the 65 game threshold. They have to make exemptions for guys like Luka Doncic and Victor Wembanyama who could barely get to that. Now the excuse they're using now is, oh, it's the pace. Well, this past season, the average pace among the 30 teams was 99.4, which means there's an average of 99.4 possessions per game per 48 minutes of action. So both teams combined for 99.4 possessions, right? Now, it actually was a little bit higher than that during the bubble, 100.3 that season, 2019-2020, and in 2018-2019, exactly 100. But this is still not the highest that we've seen. If you go back just to 1988-89, pace was 100.6. So in this league, where we saw the bad boy Pistons, right? Where you always see Jordan being roughed up and Barkley and Dominique Wilkins in those highlights that they were just showing, the pace was actually faster than it is today, 100.6. But yet Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley and Clyde Drexler and, Magic Johnson before, the diagnosis, uh, all of those stars, they were all playing 75 games or more. Tom Chambers, Chris Mullin, Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon, David Robinson. They were playing 78 games or more a lot of times. And then once you go 1986, 102.1. 1983, 103.1. 1980, 103.1. 70s, it gets even more chaotic. 1977-78, no three-point line, 106.7. Year before that, 106.5, 105.5, 104.5. 1973-74, the first year that they actually measured pace, 107.8. Now, they didn't measure league-wide pace before that, but the 60s is universally accepted to be the fastest era pace because you had teams like I believe the 1961-62 Philadelphia Warriors. Let me see if I can pull this information up. The 1961-62 Philadelphia Warriors had an offensive pace of 131.1 possessions per 48 minutes, ranking first in the NBA among all teams that season. This was the highest pace in the league, reflecting their aggressive, high-scoring style of play. And I would argue that might be the fastest pace of any team in the history of the NBA. That season was the fastest pace in the history of the league. The average score of a team was 119 points a game. Mind you, they didn't have private flights. They didn't have personalized chefs. They weren't flying. They were flying commercial if they flew. And generally speaking, a lot of these guys were traveling still because most of the teams were in the Northeast or in the Midwest and Northeast. A lot of times these guys were traveling by bus. Not to mention the fact they were wearing Converse shoes and they were playing 40 minutes a night. You can't get these guys to play more than 34 minutes a night. And they played at a breakneck speed, and yet they weren't getting hurt like that. They weren't suffering all these with the ill-fitted, shoes they were wearing. Chuck Taylors. You tried to play basketball in Chuck Taylors before? Have you tried to wear Chuck Taylors before? Just wear them. And then try playing basketball in it. See how comfortable it is. And these guys were playing basketball for 80 games, 72 games when the schedule was 72. When it expanded to 79, they was playing all 79 games, just about 80, 81, 82 games. The fastest pace ever. So what's the excuse? But if they were able to do it, and these guys were plumbers and firefighters, as you put it, then why the fuck were they doing it? But you guys can't do it. And LeBron, when you came in the league, you've been playing for so long. You came in the league in 2003 when we were still in the dead ball era, and you still only played 82 games one fucking time, once. One damn time. Well, I think Michael Jordan did it 9 times. And when he came back to basketball, he played in 263 consecutive games from March 95 to April of 1998. His last game in the league, his last year in the league, he played in all 82 games as a 40-year-old. 88-89, he played in 81 games. 91-92, 80 games. 92-93, 78 games. Generally speaking, the only times that Michael Jordan really ever missed games is either he was suspended for a game or he was in the hospital. That's it. Outside of injuries. Legitimate injuries, by the way. Not, I stubbed my toe or, I accidentally clipped off the outer ridge of my fucking pinky nail and it's hurt, so I don't want to play. But anyway, man, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.
Raw Fool TV.